Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Outside the Cinema, your weekly source for cult movie discussions. We are your handsome hosts, Bill and Chris. Welcome back to the show.
I'll go with that this time.
Yeah, you're handsome. You're a handsome guy.
Yeah, used to be. I don't know.
Still
Didn't know it at the
you're
time.
still good looking. You're still good looking.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Oh, thanks. Hey, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed their Halloween. I'm assuming you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's there's stuff going on here that I'll talk about when it's all resolved, and it's not bad stuff, but it doesn't have an end yet, so I don't want to talk about it.
Fair enough. Mine was fine. Travis, I think I mentioned this last week on the show that Travis was having a party, so I had a house full of 14-year-olds. We've become the default house to come to.
Okay.
Because so far, and I know this probably won't last, but like Travis and his group of friends are not interested in being delinquents.
Okay.
They're not interested.
How old is he now? He's
14. He's like 14 and a half, to be 15 in April.
Okay.
But there are a lot of kids in his grade that are like, they're vaping and they're drinking and they're like doing all the stuff.
A kid in one of my kids' classes the other day lit a joint. Like, not vape, not a gummy, not chocolate, not a drink. Fucking rolled joint. Lit it in class.
In class?
In Peabody, of all places.
What?
Like, what the fuck? Okay, look.
And then wondered why he got in trouble?
He didn't.
He didn't get in trouble?
I don't understand what's going on.
Wait, what?
Teachers seem to be afraid to discipline students.
That doesn't make any sense.
So the shit just kind of happens. So once I noticed that, we started extra teaching here at home.
Right.
Because like they didn't have any assignments about the 3 branches of government, or they didn't have to do anything with state or world capitals past 4th grade.
I'm thinking that's because the teachers are like, well, it's going to all change the next 2 years. So,
well, maybe. But like, it's weird. It's different than when I was there. I mean, when I was in high school, like the teacher could hit you, right? If he could get away with it. Now teachers can't even think, oh, good, Charlie Kirk's dead. That voice is silent, which is just nothing I said out loud ever myself.
Right.
In case anybody's wondering, I don't put shit up like that online. If it was Stephen Miller, on the other hand, I think I'd have a party for the first time in my life at my house. That's not for my kids.
What's his name? That used to do the Daily Show. South African guy, Noah.
Yeah,
Trevor Noah. I was watching one of his stand-up things, like a clip of his stand-up thing, and he was talking about how, like, comedians are starting to be careful what they're saying. It's like, oh, you can't even say anything about Charlie Kirk getting killed because you're going to be in trouble. And then he went to this conversation he had with a guy about how, like, oh, well, how would you find anything funny in that? And it's like, well, you can't ask a comedian to try to find something funny in something because they're going to find something funny. And
he's always something.
He's like, I'm not saying that a guy that was advocating for gun rights getting shot while doing so, it has humor inherently in it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. And let's, I mean, just to be fair, a lot of the shit he said is just inciting bad behavior.
Oh, yeah.
And by bad behavior, I mean racism and fascism and
all
shit
of the
like
above.
that. I just don't understand how people... I understand free speech. I have no problem with free speech, but definitely there needs to be more repercussions for insightful hate speech.
Yeah.
Such as, remember when Germany said if you do the Heil Hitler, you'll go to jail or something? It was bad. Like, you could not at all. Nothing. Costume, reference, joke. Germany was like, fuck you. We're embarrassed about that. That's terrible. It never should have happened. I don't know how it happened. It's going to be like red hats soon. The Red Sox will turn to blue hats permanently, and nobody will ever have red hats because those are ruined.
Yep. Well, the Red Sox stopped using the red hats, I think, a while ago anyway.
Like 2016.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it.
That was
I
their
would've
third
got
hat
away from
anyway. So now the third hat is that green monster color hat.
Ah, that's good that they got another color in there.
Yeah, they got a
that you can
yellow
go
one
to.
too, or a blue, like a light blue one. That's the marathon colors, the yellow and the blue. And then their other third jersey is the green monster color now.
That's some smart marketing people. I like that.
Well, that's the thing. This is now they every year they start to do a new jersey to get people to buy them. So
That makes sense. I never thought of that, but yeah. How do you do new merchandise for everybody? Change the uniforms. Do you make enough money back though in sales to change? Because it's expensive to change the uniforms, right?
Fanatics owns everything now, so
Oh, never mind then.
no, they just make everything a lot cheaper and then charge more for it.
Yeah.
So I'm a big sports jersey guy. I mean, like I love my sports jerseys, but I'll tell you, I may be buying a large number of off-brand ones the last couple of years because not only are they a fraction of the price, the quality is better.
Really?
Yep. I'm not saying where I've gotten some
That's
jerseys
sad.
recently, but I will tell you that the last couple jerseys that I bought were not from Fanatics, and I got them, and the numbers are sewn on. They're not heat pressed on. They're sewn on.
Oh,
And the quality of the fabric is better.
interesting.
And just in general,
Yeah.
just in general, just saying.
All right.
But just one more political thing, as we always do our kind of political stuff at the
Yeah.
beginning. I watched this kid on Instagram the other day who basically just does he does like live Q&As and like has like Republicans and MAGA people like call in, and he just basically argues with them. But he's really he's young, kid's young. He's like 23. I don't have his name. I apologize. But he has these like, you know, quote unquote conversations with MAGA people, and the perfect example of what we deal with in our country was one that I watched. I think it was actually last night I watched it, where guy called in and he's talking to him, and they're talking about felons and created crimes and stuff, and they get into the thing about how Trump is a convicted felon. And so the kid that's running the show is telling the guy, he's like, well, he's like, what you're saying is a convicted felon can't be president, but Donald Trump is a convicted felon. So he's like, can a felon be president? And the guy's like, no. And he's like, well, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. And he's like, no, he's not. And he is. He was convicted.
Multiple.
And he's like, well, where's the proof? He's like, well, we don't need the proof because he's already been convicted. They used the proof to convict him.
The court records are the proof that he was convicted.
But this was like,
it doesn't matter if he did it or not. A jury of his peers found him guilty. That's our system.
But this is the perfect example when people like that I talk to, friends of mine that live in other countries, are just like, what is happening? This was the example. Like, they was perfect. Whereas he's like, well, he's a convicted felon. Can he be president? And he's like, well, yes, but he's a convicted felon. You just told me that convicted felon can't be president. You can't. A convicted felon can't be president. Whereas just like you're not even answering the question. You're just saying what you want to say.
Cognitive dissonance, which is holding two conflicting thoughts in your head at the same time. So he has Donald Trump is absolutely the right person to be president because he convinced me. And the second is all felons need to go to can't be president. That should be a thing. But I have the sunk cost fallacy going on in here where I have made this my life. And if I'm wrong, what is that going to do to me? I better just double down.
Yeah.
And for anybody that knows anybody or is anybody out there like that, nobody gives a shit about the sunk cost fallacy. Nobody cares what you used to do. There was a Klan member. There was a black man who befriended Klan members and got, I believe, a grand dragon or wizard or whatever bullshit D&D shit they call themselves. Got him to quit the Klan because he just was friendly with him for a while. Right? So, like, I don't know what my point is. You can change. That's what it is. Oh, almost lost it there. It doesn't matter if you voted for him. You can see that states that even fart in the wrong direction are having their money taken away. Snap. Jesus Christ. You know what's going to snap? Fucking people. People are going to snap, and they're going to go get their benefits as a pound of flesh off of these fucking pieces. There's a thing in the big beautiful bill, which obviously is where we derive the use of the word bad to mean good. So this is an opposite thing. Taxes on people making less than $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year, not 300. I'm not wrong. It was said out loud, not typed. Are going to go up 78.4%.
Yeah.
Income tax.
Yep.
On the poorest working people. Why haven't we burned down the White House yet? Like,
People
didn't
don't want to admit they're
Canada
wrong.
or the French do it at one point? Like, that's the only way to stop this fucking ballroom going. And you know, a ballroom to Donald Trump is just a place to fuck children.
There was another clip I watched I saw over the weekend from, I think it was when Kash Patel was
That motherfucker.
doing one of the things in Congress or whatever back in September. And I forget which congressman it was, but he asked him, he's like, did you let the attorney general, did you say to the attorney general that Donald Trump's name shows up in the Epstein files? And Patel continuously just doesn't answer the question to the point where the congressman just goes, it's a simple question, Mr. Patel. Yes or no, is Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files? Well, you got to love it. No.
Right.
Yes or no, is his name appear in the files? Well, no. You can
They
spell
should
it
be
out
allowed-
to me.
Yeah.
YES or NO, does his name appear? And he just continuously, which is like,
Because he knows he's dead if he answers it.
well, and also it's like he knows as big a butt plug as the guy is, like he knows he can't lie under oath.
That dude can't lie, like, anytime. Have you seen his face? Like, I'm not good at poker, but I would play high stakes against that motherfucker.
Right. But the thing is, he's sworn in. He knows if he lies under oath and then those files come out, they're coming after him. So he's
Right,
doing
but
everything he can to not answer the question, which in turn answers the question.
They need to hold him in contempt if they can. I don't know if that's a thing at a.
Well, the problem is they can't hold him in contempt because the files haven't been seen. But the sheer fact
they're
that
not. But he's not answering the question. That's
Right.
the thing. Like, answer the
Right.
question, or we're going to detain you. Yes or no.
Ridiculous.
And yeah, there's gonna be. This is gonna be fun. It's not fun now, but it's gonna be fun to watch all the winning that we're gonna do. The side that the law and like decent people.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
the
fun.
New York
It's gonna be
election
soon.
Yeah, the New York election's tomorrow. That's trending in the right way, but we will see.
Oh, he's winning. He's absolutely winning.
Well, he's absolutely winning. Whether he ends up getting in is another.
If he doesn't win, then they did the same thing they did during the general election.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is he's going to win. But whether there's whether Trump has already said that he's going to get involved more, and he'll find because he knows once you start to turn the tide with one, there's going to be a snowball effect, which is why they're doing everything they can to just basically cancel the midterm elections.
Right, but here's the funny thing. This isn't the one that starts turning. That already happened. He's already lost states that he's had.
Right.
They've already elected Democrat representatives to counter this. So this is just the biggest profile one because he's a Muslim and he's brown and he's
in the biggest city in the country.
Yeah, and a city Donald Trump is not allowed to do business in ever again.
Which he's from.
Because
from
of
there.
cheating a children's cancer charity.
But he's
out
not a
of money.
felon, Chris. He's not a felon.
No, he's a fucking demon. And I don't use that word lightly because of my Christian upbringing. I mean, like, I cannot think between him. I mean, Epstein is a terrible, awful, monstrous person. But Donald Trump takes this further because now he's hurting everyone. So I'm not saying that, I would torture these two people exactly the same way if I had a chance, Epstein and Trump. And it would probably start with a vegetable peeler on their balls. And then their lips, I think. I'm just sorry. I got really into what I would do.
So strangely specific. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a melon baller and I'm
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's the one thing they derive pleasure from. So I'll make it hurt.
Speaking of making it hurt, we're gonna move. We're gonna
watch Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah, on the show this week we're doing Jason versus Freddy. Just because over the Halloween season, I realized I hadn't watched it in a long time. And I was like, I'm curious how it hits now. And the answer is different.
Like a 90s movie, actually.
And the other film is called Primal Rage, which is about infected baboons. So we'll get to that. But before we get to the reviews.
Sort of.
Before we get to the reviews, I did receive an email from a longtime listener, Gavin. And he sent this last week. I was going to read it last week, but I wanted to hold it to this week just for whatever reason. So, hey guys, long time listener here. I go all the way back to I think episode 3.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I know Gav because I know his email address. I won't give it out here, obviously, but I've recognized it, and every time I see it, I'm like, yep, that dude's been with us for the haul.
Nice.
I had to write in after hearing a review of Strippers versus Werewolves, as I have a couple of pretty interesting stories about it.
Okay, good.
So we reviewed Strippers versus Werewolves 2 or 3 weeks ago. We lambasted it as bad in pretty much every way. So we talked specifically about some stuff with the effects and the laziness, and I think Gav here has some insight on that for us. Okay. So one of my best friends is an effects artist. He's actually working on some pretty big stuff these days, like Mission Impossible films and the next J.J. Abrams movie. But back in 2011, when Strippers was shot, he only had a few years under his belt and got a job on the film. He told me about what a shambles the shooting of it was. To the shock of no one, I'm sure, right? One thing he had to deal with was the actor Martin Kemp. Kemp is best known here in England as being in the band Spandau Ballet and having a long-running role on our most popular soap opera, EastEnders.
EastEnders, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually didn't mention Martin Kemp being in Spandau Ballet, which I'm kind of surprised because usually music is my thing, and I knew.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what the name of that band means?
Spandau Ballet?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Spandau is a concentration camp, and the ballet they're referring to is the Jewish men and women hanging from rope.
Ah, interesting.
That's
the thing about the
understanding. That's weird.
Who was it that wore a Joy Division shirt the other day and everyone tried to cancel him?
Oh, I don't have any idea. Why is that a canceling thing?
Well, Joy Division is the it's part of it was one of the areas of one of the concentration camps that was nicknamed Joy Division.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I forget the details of it, but some politician wore a Joy Division shirt the other day, and then of course somebody came out and they I should be ashamed of himself and removed from his position.
Was it the band? Did it have like that little graph looking thing?
Yeah, it was the band shirt. It was the Joy Division shirt with the waves on it.
Okay, great. I've worn Faith No More shirts to fucking church. What's the problem?
People are looking for reasons to fuck with people.
Yeah. I don't think you should fuck with Joy Division fans.
Well, I mean, they're all sad
and angry now. We're all older and angry now.
Yeah. Either way, let's get back to Gavin's story about.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel bad. Thanks, dude.
Spandau Ballet having a long-running role on probably our most popular soap opera, EastEnders. My friend told me that he had to apply an effect on him one day and told me how Martin walked into the makeup room and said, "How long will this take?" My friend replied, "About 5 hours," to which Kemp sat down and abruptly answered, "You've got one." Somewhat taken back, my friend said that he wouldn't be able to do a good job in that amount of time, to which Kemp replied, "I don't care. You've got one." And thus, a poor job was done.
Yeah, but like, he's not his boss. I would have said it's going to take however long it takes, so we might as well be nice to each other.
I thought that was interesting, though, considering we were like, all of the makeup effects looked like they weren't finished.
They weren't.
They weren't.
Good. Okay, so now, honestly, knowing that, because in my mind, that's how things work, I'm thinking a little bit better of this. Oh, he's a bass player? Oh, he's got an attitude for a bass player.
Biggest story, though, is one that I probably shouldn't tell, but I'm going to.
As a bass player, I made that joke, I want to say. Go ahead.
My friend said that the whole vibe on the set was totally off. He had never, and asking him again just today about it, says has never felt this way since. Being on a set where no one working on the film seemed to care at all about it. He didn't think too much of it until one day he had some downtime and was just sat out of the way in a corner of the set. And he saw a couple of guys come in and give one of the producers of the film a briefcase, which he opened and my friend saw was full of cash.
Oh,
I didn't think briefcases of cash were actually a real thing, but apparently so. My friend ended up asking about it and had someone on the set tell him that the film was just a money laundering scheme. Let's just say that the announced budget did not show up on screen at all. I hope you find this interesting, as I really enjoyed hearing about it all. And I thought, and I totally get it. If you think I'm full of shit, you got no reason to lie to us.
No,
like you have no reason to make up the story and send it to us for our show, for the 1,000 people that listen to the show or whatever. And I totally get if you think I'm full of shit, though. I do feel I'd lie about something more interesting than a film called Strippers versus Werewolves. Keep up the good work. Gav, thank you very much. And all of that makes sense. Knowing the movie when we watched it, it was like, okay, yeah, money laundering scheme. That tracks.
Yeah. And you know what? With that information, I'll update my review a little bit and I'll say, I cannot comment on the effects because they were not finished. There you go.
No, but that's an even bigger minus for the director of not getting in there and being like, hey, you're the bass player of Spandau Ballet. Sit there and put on the makeup. You're getting paid to be here.
Yeah,
or the producer, or whoever's in charge on set. Like, you have to be like, "Fuck you, man! Like, sit down, get the effects done."
Yeah. I don't know. I don't give a shit if you've done 324 episodes of EastEnders. You still be nice to fucking people because it's EastEnders. It's not. I don't know. What's more important than EastEnders? There's so many choices. I can't pick one.
Everything.
I mean, I would have more respect for the guy if he was a constant co-host on Would I Lie to You? Other than whatever. I like that show more. I like the people on that.
Anyway, Gav, thanks for writing it.
I have seen him on other panel shows, and he comes off okay. On camera, he turns on whatever mask he's got going. That's sad to know that he's a fucking dick.
Most people are dicks. I'm a dick.
I don't like to inconvenience people, and if people are going to do something for me, like when we were doing Haunted House, like they're going to do my makeup or whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm nice to those people so they don't write, like, dildo on my forehead instead of, skull paint, face paint stuff. I just
look
don't
forward to the day I
understand
can write dildo on your forehead.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
It'll be my wake. So good luck.
Someone wrote dildo on Chris's forehead in the casket.
I'll write that down so you can do it. That's fine.
Nice. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Freddy versus Jason. A film that our world, the cult film world, the horror film world, a film that we were waiting for many years, a film that we never thought would actually get made, and then it did in 2003.
Yep.
Here is a trailer.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.
Welcome to my nightmare.
We're not safe awake or asleep.
Why won't you die? Freddy versus Jason.
Place your bets.
All right, that was the Blu-ray trailer.
Okay.
From 2009 for the film that came out in 2003. All right, Freddy versus Jason. Obviously, Robert Englund returns as Freddy. Ken Kersinger came back as Jason. I don't know why I thought Kane Hodder was in this, but then I remembered him bitching about not being in it in the Camp Crystal Lake documentary.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and the director wanted Kane Hodder's Jason is like super aggressive, and he wanted something slower and methodical and something that would appear controllable. because that's what happens. Freddy essentially controls Jason a little bit. And I don't think Kane Hodder's aggressive beating people up in sleeping bags and shit, he would have a little more brain power going on, I think. But this one was kind of like a zombified Gollum almost. So that's what he wanted to do. And
that makes sense.
The other reason is that this guy that played him is a little bit taller and a little wider than what's his face. So he looked bigger compared to Freddy, which is
Ken Kirzinger's made a very long and successful career as a stunt player in Hollywood. He's been in stunts from everything from like Watchmen to he's been in everything. Also starring Monica Keenen, who I really thought was going to be set up to be a big like final girl.
I did too.
And I mean, she's been in Freddy vs. Jason. She's been in a lot of like TV
I looked
work.
through, and it's a lot of smaller stuff. Which is, you know what? If that's what you want to do, I'm not complaining about that. But I thought she would be bigger after this. She was, with the script she had and the lines she had to deliver, she did fine. I'm
scrolling through here, just kind of like, I mean, she constantly works. She does a lot of TV work, a lot of voice work.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you fall into the voice work thing and you love it, I get it. I've seen actors go both ways on that. Like they do voice work, then they get in front of a camera. And they're like, "Oh, this is awesome too." So
yeah, I'm just like, she didn't post Freddy. She had a bunch of stuff before Freddy versus Jason. And I really just thought like she would be a good horror movie actress, final girl, and she's really doesn't have any real horror movies.
No,
something called Left in Darkness. I don't know, Left in Darkness. I mean, CSI, Without a Trace, The Sopranos, Ghost Whisperer, Grey's Anatomy, lots of TV stuff.
Yeah, I think it does take.
She was in the Night of the Demons remake.
Oh, okay. I think it takes a certain amount of, like you got to be a little bit different to want to be covered in blood all the time, and be sticky and stained red. Like Tiffany Shepis is a good example of somebody that enjoys doing that work. And I know I would not like to be covered in Caro syrup every day.
Right. No, I hear you.
So maybe that's it. Maybe it was just a decision like that where it's like, it's fun. I like doing it, but the cleanup sucks.
Actually, looking at this cast in general, there's a lot of like people that just never got there. Like Jason Ritter, who was the one of the male leads, he was the same thing where like you thought he's been in a ton of stuff, but he never really like became a big time actor. Catherine Isabel, obviously in the cult world, is she's royalty from being in Ginger Snaps, and she was also the lead in American Mary. But again,
and she's still showing up and stuff too.
Oh yeah, no, she still acts all the time too. Brendan Fletcher's like, you're like, oh, that guy.
Which one was he?
He played Mark. He's been in he was in The Revenant. He was in Violent Night.
Was he the one with the short curly hair with the brother? I don't remember the names.
No, that was Ritter. Brendan Fletcher was the kind of crazy friend that he escaped with.
Yeah, the little dude with the blonde hair.
Yeah. He's been in a ton of stuff, but again, it's just a character actor. Zach Ward, obviously, Scott Farkas.
Yeah, I like when he shows up and stuff because he looks like bullies I had. Like really looks like some bullies I had when I was little. But then he's good. He's a good bully actor. He's in this one. The small role he has is kind of disturbing. So good for him. He plays it well. Yeah,
but he'll always be Scott Farkas.
Absolutely.
Always. So Freddy vs. Jason, after living in development hell for a very, very long time, was finally made. They started production on it right around 2000. It was released in 2003 to much fanfare from the horror community because this had been a thing that had been talked about for many years. And watching it at the time, I remember we all loved it. Because I think it was just one of those. Yeah, and it was also like they finally made it. Like they actually were able to do it.
Yeah.
And we were like,
we don't care how good or bad it is. We get to see these two guys together interacting.
And it wasn't for us at that mindset at that time, it wasn't gonna be bad no matter what.
Well, it would have to be really bad for us to walk away from it, right? I mean, there is a line. Isn't there?
Unfortunately, though, watching this now in 2025, I don't like it nearly as much as I did back then.
Yeah.
It's incredibly flawed in many, many ways.
That's because we've had really great horror movies since then.
Yeah. So the basic story, I mean, in order to make this work, you got to kind of suspend your belief, even in the world's built.
Even in the dream world. Yeah.
Yeah. Even within the Nightmare on Elm Street and the Friday the 13th world, you kind of just have to suspend all of that and just be like, because if you're like, how do you get these two together?
Yeah.
There's no easy answer.
There is one easy way to do it that I finally figured out.
And that would be?
The problem with it is, this would have been before the remake, the reboot of Friday the 13th, so this would be okay at the time. Senior year, they're going to go on a weekend to one of the kids' lake houses, and it's just going to be all this group of seniors from Springwood High, and then they go to the lake. Then they think they're getting killed by Freddy. So Freddy comes in and he's able to manifest himself into their dreams because they're remembering about him. And then he interacts with Jason. And Jason's killing the people that he wants to kill. That's the reason they fight.
Which is essentially this movie.
It is, but it's that plus 12 other fucking steps that don't need to be there.
Yeah. Like just the opening of this, you get the rundown of who Freddy Krueger is, and then you get a rundown of who Jason is.
Which was good because it really sets Freddy up as a fucking goofball.
For the most part, yeah.
Because he does come off like he's like Groucho Marx now. Past part 3. And I think they had to show you that the movies had been ridiculous in case you haven't been paying attention and maybe all you saw was New Nightmare.
Right.
So, but I do like that they stayed with his, I need to be remembered, and I'm more of a demon than an actual person. I'm just inhabiting this form that scares these people or whatever deal they have. So I like that they use the mythology. I was okay.
And you have to. And then, but then you immediately have to suspend your belief in their mythology when he somehow is able to reanimate Jason Voorhees, after being like dead for an extended amount of time, or dormant for an extended amount of time, because you're like, oh well, he's not in Springwood, he's in Crystal Lake. So how does Freddy get into the head of Jason? Like, it's it's a horror movie and it's ridiculous. You're not supposed to be able to you have to suspend, but like. I just got really frustrated with them. Like, why? How is this happening?
Yeah,
like,
that part was a little.
I get that you're okay. You just gave me your reasoning for Freddy wanting to come back. He needs I get that he needs to be remembered, but how does that connect to Jason? And how does he get into Jason's dormant mind and reanimate him?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. It in the world they're setting up, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And in a movie called Freddy versus Jason, if it's not making sense, like I'm like, okay, well, yeah, obviously none of it makes sense. But like,
what would have made sense is if all of a sudden Jason woke up in the woods or in his cave or in the bus from the remake or whatever, and he just got up and started walking. That's it. He can be a fully intact human being that doesn't die and doesn't rot and only decomposes to a certain point until he looks cool. And then he just gets up and goes. It's like he's activated when people are around or he has something to do. You didn't have to do, you had to do a nice effect scene because we've seen Jason come back to life before. But we didn't need that. He could just started walking out of the woods.
Right. But one thing that I noticed that really bugged me though is they take the Freddy mythology and like put that in there. But they actually don't use the Jason mythology. Because basically, if you're looking at Jason canon from film 1 to film, well, this would be before X. But like in the time period, like, how did he get back? How did he get back from Manhattan? How do like they just like
didn't he go to hell?
And I get it.
Isn't he a worm or something? Like,
well, yeah, that's the thing is it's like you're picking and choosing what you're going to use, and I understand you're going to need to do that, but like. I don't know. It for some reason watching it now with my critical eye, it really bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah. We all watched this last night because all of a sudden I remembered, I got to watch this. I can't just fake this. And, And as we're watching this, I'm like, this dialogue is terrible. Like they didn't even what people wanted this movie for so long, and this is the script that they went with. They didn't care. They just wanted the money in the back end. They just wanted it done, and their bonuses. Nobody wrote a good script. They wrote a script. That's it. They wrote.
And
a
this was like, I don't remember the exact number, but wasn't this like the 30th script or something that they?
I think that's a fair estimate. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how hard it is to do this. Like, what's the most awesome things Freddy can do? What's the best things Jason can do? Okay, who can show up as the surprise third contestant in this fight at the very end of the movie so that we make sure we do a sequel? Nobody did that. Nobody wanted to do anything. I mean, for fuck's sake, we could have had Jason versus Freddy versus Michael Myers versus Phantasm before he died, versus Dracula and the werewolf. I mean, we could have gone anywhere with this. But they had to fuck it up by writing a shitty story.
I'm glad that we didn't, to be honest. Like everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna get that Freddy versus Jason versus Ash movie." I go, I don't want that.
I could see Ash classifying both of those as Deadites, though. That could work.
No, stop.
I know it's stupid.
We don't
but
want
that's
that.
what we like stupid shit sometimes, you know?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Freddy gets into Jason's mind.
Oh yeah, we're still in the beginning.
And wakes him up and is basically like, you gotta go to Springwood because I don't know why.
He said the kids have been very naughty.
Right. But what, like, again, wasn't Jason's whole thing was protecting the area where he lived?
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't. He was like a trespassing guardian,
right?
Yeah.
Except he ended up on a boat that went to Manhattan. Which again, if you look at the infrastructure of how did he get there? Like, anyway, so he starts walking, and then the whole thing is he's supposed to start killing naughty kids so that everyone remembers Freddy. Which again, I don't know how we get from A to B on that, but they do.
I can see the dumb logic because Jason doesn't operate there, so they're going to think it's Freddy because Freddy does kill kids there.
And apparently
it's
in
weak,
Springwood,
but
they've been able to erase the memory of Freddy by getting rid of all the news reports, and they have this drug that is a sleep drug that basically makes it so you don't dream, which is from the whole Nightmare canon. Hypnosil's been in there for a long time. They kept the Nightmare canon, and it was just like, we're going to throw Jason in just because he's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And so your main characters are locked up because they suffered, then saw what happened. So they're, meant to remember or meant to forget or whatever. And then, dude, I don't even. And then, I don't know, Jason starts killing people. And then there's a lot of bad lines. Like part when Freddy tries to kill, I forget which character it was he tries to kill, when he goes, not strong enough yet. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I don't need a friggin' ongoing conversation from Freddy about gaining his energy. It's like, you just got the health back. Now you're powered up and can murder everybody. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to be honest, watching this again,
this was written for stupid people to be able to
I was
follow.
really let down by it. And I hate to say it, but it was written for stupid fanboy horror fans.
It is. It's written for 13-year-olds on dates that really aren't paying attention.
And if you love it, and I swear to God, I'm not trying to diss you. If I'm that saying stupid fanboy horror boy fanboys is probably rough. And I don't mean that, and I'm sorry. But like, it's just like, this movie I felt was like insulting my horror fandom. Like I felt like insulted by it because I love both of these series. But watching this now, I'm just like, you wrote a Nightmare on Elm Street movie and then we're like, oh, we can make it Freddy versus Jason. So we'll just throw Jason in where we need to. And then the presentation of Jason is so lackluster compared to your presentation of Freddy, because Freddy's got all these cool shots of like where like the red, like when he looks like the devil jumping out of the water, and Jason just looks like Doofy.
He does. Like, and also, answer this for me. Why does he have two eyes? Doesn't he have one historically?
I mean, if you want to go back to the Friday the 13th movies, one of the things is like it's different every time.
That's true.
So,
I'm
like,
used to seeing him with one eye. I don't
but
know.
it's like I just don't understand. No, I agree with you. And like you like the hack in the mask where there should be a hack there, right?
Yeah. That magically heals itself.
Well, that's the thing is it's like if you're gonna take the canon of Nightmare on Elm Street and you're gonna make sure that you're, respecting, quote unquote, respecting that, but then you essentially are like, well, fuck Friday the 13th then. Like, we're just gonna throw it in where we need to move the story along. 'Cause that's what it feels like watching it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue that. Also, like, if Freddy isn't Freddy Krueger, the human, why do we go back to his iconography of the boiler room all the time? For people that don't even know what that boiler room is. If he's a demon, and you have dream powers, you're not using them well because, like, I don't see very many. Telekinesis is not a dream power. That's an X-Men power, throwing shit around. So, like, I would like a Nightmare on Elm Street where it feels like a dream, where like you go to pick something up and the glitch stuff where like it does the artifacting and then a new image comes out of that. Like it freezes for a second and then the new image that's playing behind it kind of catches up to it.
Yep.
I'd like to see something like that, but without the glitching, where like you go to reach for a door and your perspective's off because it's a dream and it's really 2 miles away from you and it's 50 feet high and whatever. There's not enough dream logic in here. There's dream logic, but there's not enough dream visualization. So the demon doesn't have much of an imagination, but he's in that dream world a lot.
But he is, but he isn't. The whole movie is driving itself to being like, we have to bring Freddy into the real world. How are we going to bring Freddy into the real world? Like, and
they did that in every fucking movie. You grab him and wake up.
Right, but like in every other Nightmare on Elm Street film, like the dream world is just so much better. Like it's so much more important.
But I want it to be more than that. Like even if in the background somewhere you have a giant manta ray, flying across the clouds, just something weird, because it's a dream. I don't know. That always bothered me. Freddy has zero imagination for a serial killer. Also, is it really fair to put a guy who murdered children up against a guy that was famously a child that was murdered? I'll say murdered. He died, but
Oh, I didn't.
Kind of seems like having Trump fight Greta Thunberg.
Well, and it's funny because
Somebody's
Jason, despite being a mindless killer, is really portrayed as your like hero in this. Like it's bizarre. Whole thing is weird.
They try, yeah. It doesn't work for me, but I can see what you're saying. Yeah,
I definitely was blinded by the fact that we finally got this movie when it came out, and watching it now with a critical eye, I'm just like, it doesn't do either. I don't feel like it does either series justice because it doesn't feel like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th movie.
Which may have been a conscious choice. I could see that. We got to make it its own thing. We can't rest too much on it.
The idea that you have to make it its own thing doesn't make any sense when you're basically trying to play fan service.
I'm not saying studio execs make sense.
No, you're right. You're right. But it's like when we saw, what was it? What was what was episode 7? Force Awakens?
Yeah.
That's how you pay fan service, because that felt like a Star Wars movie, but it was his own thing.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
I'm not defending it.
No. I'm not. I for the record, I've been a fan since day one of Star Wars because I was there.
Yep.
I haven't bought anything Star Wars in over a year. I didn't watch The Acolyte. I haven't watched season 2 of Andor. Just keeping up on my Grogu. I do like IG-11. But I'm kind of off of it now. The last Rise of Skywalker, the last one, that was it. That was too much. It was stupid. Like, Abrams might be a nice person, but he needs to write and film shit that makes sense and not just looks cool. And I've been saying this since Star Trek. The Enterprise cannot go underwater. It's made for space. It's made for one atmosphere or zero. I mean, that matters. 0 atmospheres. And then you're going to put it underwater, which is definitely a thicker atmosphere than water. And then you're going to have it rise up out of the water super fast with the saucer section fucking parallel to the top of the ocean. Yeah, it looked cool. I don't like his movies. Super 8, nice.
Love
nice
Cloverfield.
Spielberg ripoff that did not have the heart.
Loved Cloverfield.
I don't.
Really? I love Cloverfield.
I got to watch it again because that was the very first one where the main characters were fucking douchebags, and I wasn't ready for that.
No, I love it.
I still think the monster is too thin and skinny and has too many thin, like, membranous parts on its head, like over his ears and stuff, to survive out of the water for that long. It looks like something that lives in the water. It's got like lobster and crab legs, size, not covering. But yeah, I like.
I'm
stuff
just realizing right now, though, that like we're talking about Freddy versus Jason, which is like one of the most renowned titles, and we're actually talking about the film very little.
Yeah, because there's not much to it.
There's not much to it.
No.
To get us back on track here. The last thing I said was how it doesn't feel like either film, but yet you're trying to play fan service, but you're not at the same time. It's just the thing. End of the day is the writing is so bad, and knowing that they had thrown away 30-something scripts, how is this the one that got made?
Well, I mean, you've seen bad movies. I don't know what
that
to
doesn't
say.
answer the question. That's a Cash Patel answer there.
Okay. How is this one? How is Halloween Kills or Ends like a good? How is
No.
a good way?
You're Cash Patel, like, dude. Answer the question, Chris.
Okay, what's the question?
How is this Freddy versus Jason the one that got made?
Oh, probably because somebody was going to lose the rights to it, and they had to hurry up and Fantastic Four that shit with Roger Corman.
See, there you go. That's an answer.
How about
that's a good answer? And I don't most likely correct, but it's just like, as a man of my age now watching these films, when and again, I love both of these series. The original run for both of them is just they're classics. Whether they're good or not is beside the point. But like watching this now, 21 years. It's 2003. It's 2020, 22 years ago when it came out.
Yeah.
It's kind of insulting.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what our listeners, if you want to email us or message us what your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason are from when you first saw it to now.
Yeah.
Like if you've recently revisited it. And if you haven't, revisit it. Let us know. Because like I will go back and watch, Friday the 13th part 4, which is my favorite of the series. And I'm still like, yeah, it's bad, but I love it. You go back and you watch Dream Warriors and you're like,
it's cheesy. Yeah.
Right. And Dream Warriors is the perfect example. Like, okay, yeah, this still holds up.
Yeah, so, because it's garbage going in. But Dream Warriors, I think, is one of the best written ones. Kincaid made the fucking movie for me. Yeah. He was just good person, right? And good funny actor.
I still get messages from Ken Sagos every now and then.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. Hey,
and
Bill.
It's all like,
just wanted to let you. I'm running some charity thing or whatever.
Okay.
And it's like, they're not like, so like he's going through his Facebook friends and he's sending messages to them. But like, either way, he was a nice guy when we
yeah, that's cool. No, hey, and maybe I'll get one and I'll donate sometime. I don't really go on Facebook at all anymore.
Yeah. I get a message when I get a notification when I get a message.
Mm.
So. All right, let's grade this.
Okay.
I can't. All right, yeah. Christopher, Freddy versus Jason, 2003. Do you recommend, and what is your grade?
Okay, now this is going to be weird because of what we just said for a half hour. Yeah, I'm going to recommend this because, like, if you're a fan of the characters, you always want to see more of them. good or bad, I would say. And this is you got something else to do, like organize photos in your photo app or delete things. This is good to have on in the background. It does have some really nice looking stuff. I think Freddy's glove is one of the best looking ones that we've had in the series outside of New Nightmare, which actually gives it the thumb blade, which I always was pissed about. Freddy was good. Englund was at the top of his game, and Jason was Jason. The humans are as helpful as an old Showa era Godzilla movie, because I have to say that now because the humans are getting more helpful in the movies as we go along. And actually, Shikshima's story in -0 was just as interesting to me, finally, as the Godzilla story. But yeah, this is bad. This is like House 2 levels of bad. I'll watch it if it's on because it's comfortable. You know the characters. You know there's not going to be any weird shit going on. You know what you're in for. There's some people that you like. But this is it's definitely it's like when I put on Return of the Living Dead Part 2, I don't put it on to watch it. I put it on to like see some scenes and hear the music and look up every now and then while I'm drawing. That's what this is.
Yeah. Okay, I'll buy that.
In the history of Jason and Freddy movies, is not the worst. Clearly not the best. If we were going on just a Jason movie, just a Freddy movie.
Yeah. Well, Jason disappears for a half an hour in the middle of the film for no explanation.
Oh yeah. I know. As a Jason movie, it's a better movie than X, but I don't know where to put it past that. And as far as a Freddy movie,
is X the worst one for you? Is like if you so like is that your least favorite of the original Fridays?
X to me has the worst acting.
Okay.
And it's so far outside of the regular realm that I think people just were like, what the fuck in space? And I love when they go to space because I know it's going to be awful. Hellraiser 4. And yeah, I mean, but okay, there was a real world issue with why I hate this. Super Jason or Cyborg Jason or whatever you want to call him, the costume was out the Halloween before the movie was going to be released. And it was Uber Jason. That's what it was. Uber Jason. I'm looking at him like,
and that's Kane Hodder, right? That's
yes,
Kane Hodder.
Yes. And I'm looking at him like, I had a whole year to think about what they were going to do with this. Like, oh, they're going to cyborg him. Okay, great. He's going to whatever. This could be interesting. And then there's a sex robot that knows karate and guns and a stoner, and it's Cabin in the Woods up in space, and it's badly acted, but some of the space stuff, the model work is really good. They did some really good model. But yeah, because I hold a special place in my heart with Part 8 because I was working the theater when that opened. So I don't know. I got good and bad memories of that movie.
That's Jason Goes to Hell.
8 is Manhattan, I think.
Oh, 8 is Manhattan.
I'm specifically talking about Manhattan, whatever number. And then as far as Freddy movies go, I think this is better than 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many there are, but not
6
better than
was
New
Freddy's
Nightmare.
Dead, and then New Nightmare, right?
Okay. Yeah, so
honestly, after 3, they're all bad until New Nightmare. And New Nightmare, actually, we watched that not that long, it's probably like 7 or 8 years ago. I think we watched it, and like, it's not as good as we remember it.
It's not, but it's better than the last 5 that came before.
Absolutely. Better than 4, 5, and 6 for sure.
Yeah, I would put this after New Nightmare, but before 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to see Roseanne Barr, the whole Dream Child idea. There's a lot of weird shit in those movies. People just trying stuff, and I think that's why this one didn't piss me off so much. Because there was some dumb Freddy ideas, but there are also some awesome Freddy kills, and we didn't really get any of those in this.
No, we didn't.
Like the motorcycle wiring him up to look like a fucking Tetsuo demon. The school bus on the pillar in the middle of the desert. We didn't see anything.
Oh yeah,
remotely surreal. But
Welcome to Primetime, bitch, is my favorite.
Yeah. Overall, for effect and impression, I think the tendon marionette looked really good.
Oh yeah.
but it's all part 3. That's really good.
It is. It's all part 3.
Yeah. And if you watch part 1 again as an adult, like you can see all of the stuff they tried to hide, like the gathered material on the arms when they get long. Like as a kid, scared the shit out of me. But as an adult, I'm like, oh, look, it's a puppet.
Right. But it still works. It still works
Yeah.
so much better than this.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a D. And I'm probably going to watch it in the next 5 years again. But that's not high praise. It's just, oh, this is familiar. So fuck it. I need something to watch. So I recommend, because it is part of the series and it's not awful to watch as part of the series. It's not great, but yeah, D plus.
All right. I'm there. I mean, I'm pretty much there with you. I hadn't rewatched it probably since like 2009 or 2010. I probably bought that Blu-ray when it was released, watched it once, and then that was that.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a film throughout the years on the show when we were doing top 6 lists and stuff. It would come up, and I think we definitely looked back on it more fondly.
Yeah.
In the actual
It is a
quality of the
nostalgic
film.
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like you. I'm gonna still recommend it. Because it happened. Like, and the sheer fact that they were able to make it happen, regardless of the
Yeah.
quality and the final outcome, is impressive.
That's true. That is true.
So, mostly just because we've seen the friggin' nightmare that has been the Friday the 13th franchise in the last decade, and everybody fighting over likenesses and fighting over who controls what, and we haven't gotten up until now where we're finally going to get new Friday the 13th content. You know, people were fighting over it, and it ruined really good things. It ruined the video game because the video game ended up having to go out of business because of it.
Yeah.
So cool,
Yeah.
right? But it's just it's not a very good movie. It's just dumb in a lot of ways, and like the writing is just so poor. And like the chick from Destiny's Child, we hadn't even mentioned her, Kelly Rowland, terrible actress.
Oh, 100%. Rod Digger from 13 Ghosts was a better actress.
Yeah, don't fuck with Rod Digger, yo.
She was funny.
Don't fuck with her, man.
But this Waterfall girl here just she
Waterfall
cannot
Girl,
act.
what?
No, I'm thinking of a different
That's
band.
TLC.
I
Come
don't-
on,
I
man.
don't
You're
give
thinking of you want to think
don't
of
give
Little
a
Destiny's
shit.
Child, little jumpin', or Bootylicious, or Bills,
No, I didn't listen
or
to them.
Say
so
My
I don't know.
Name, Say My Name. You know, dude.
I know that one, yeah.
D Child had some bangers, is all I'm saying.
Probably. I'm not holding that again. No, I just didn't listen. If they were on the
But
radio,
Kelly Rowland,
maybe.
not a good actress.
No,
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 not a
we
good
can
actress.
agree on that.
Yeah. The effects, I mean, it's just like there's a lot of like bad CGI effects thrown in
Yeah.
here. And the biggest thing that bothers me the most is how little care went into Jason. He just looks like a homeless guy with sad eyes.
Yeah, but he's got that black skin.
It's
Like he's been mummified like a bog person.
I hate it. I don't like the look.
Okay.
He looks too big. He's too
Yeah,
big and too
okay.
tall. My favorite Jason is part 4 because he's that middle ground. He's not this like hulking monster.
Yeah.
And I find that scarier.
Yeah, a normal person is scarier. Yeah,
So,
honestly.
yeah, D plus, C minus, borderline C minus. You got to watch it just based on its importance, but
Yeah.
it's really not. If you haven't watched, again, I would love to hear from you guys and what your thoughts are watching it now, as opposed to when it came out. Because yeah, we all fucking glazed the shit out of it when it came out because it was Freddy versus Jason. We actually got it, but you watch it now and it's really not very good.
Yeah. We got what we wanted, and it wasn't what we wanted.
We got what we wanted, but it wasn't what we really wanted.
Yep.
Okay, speaking of what we really wanted, we got Primal Rage coming up next, another Italian piece. I don't have a trailer for it, so I'm not going to play it. Well, I can't play it. I don't have one.
Right.
Primal Rage, original titled Furia Primivita, directed by Vittorio Lambade. Jesus, I'm having a hard time talking here.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, here we go. Directed by Vittorio Rambaldi. One of the writers was Umberto Lenzi, who, of course, did Nightmare Beach and many other classic Italian horror flicks. Primal Rage, 1988, late in the run for the Italian horror films. But this was something a little bit different. I would like to actually think of this as the 28 Days Later prequel, 28 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be. It could be, right?
It's the same plot starting.
Yep. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
So I also love when Italian-made films are taking place in places like Florida. Because this takes place at quote-unquote Florida University.
That's a place, right?
Yep. We got Bo Svevenson, who has obviously been in a million things over the years, whether it's Inglourious Bastards, Kill Bill 2, what was it, Walking Tall, and then he did in the 80s a run of Italian films where he was basically, recognizable face for hire. Let me get up the his acting stuff here so I can kind of run through some of them for you. Let me roll back here. Man, God, he worked a lot in the 90s. All right, so he was in Deep Space, Maniac Killer, Brothers in Blood. This is just the Italian-made productions I'm running through for you here. The Manhunt, Deadly Impact. He's also one of the leads he was the main detective in Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, which was not Italian-made, but still in that world. The original Inglourious Bastards, obviously.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yep. Man, he did a lot of TV work too, huh? All right, well, that gives you a good... Bo Svenson's been in a bunch of stuff over the years. He plays a doctor who was working on trying to cure brain disease and other ailments, and he is doing these tests on baboons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really know what exactly he was trying to create or what he was doing to create it, but it creates a rage virus.
Yeah.
That is spread by baboon, singular, biting someone.
Yep.
Now, Bo Svevenson as the doctor.
Days later.
Yep. Most distracting thing about this character is the fact that he had a ponytail.
Did he, though?
Well, yes, and also no.
How small is this pony? Is it a My Little Pony? Because
I guess it's a mullet. But do you remember in the 80s when people would do anything they possibly could to tie their hair back into a ponytail, even if their hair wasn't long enough to justify it?
Yes.
That's what this guy's got. And he's got it through the entire film.
It's like a 1.5-inch long curl gathered at the back of his base of his skull. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, just the back, top party, business up front.
Yeah.
Party in the back. All right, so we got Sam, who works for the college newspaper. We got Lauren, who is a freshman at said college. We got her roommate Debbie. We got Duffy, who's his friend. And then we got the three guys that are the quote unquote frat boys, who are just awful people. And then we got the rage virus that is unleashed upon the campus.
A lot going on.
Yeah. I will say this, that the first 45 minutes of this movie are class bad B-movie fun.
True.
And then the second 45 minutes of it kind of loses its way. Because in those first 45 minutes, we get all of the stuff you would want in a bad Italian movie that you can have fun watching. Bad special effects, ridiculous situations that just don't make any sense. People making decisions that nobody would ever make.
Yeah.
Really crazy dialogue that is just like, where did they even come up with this? And then people acting on impulse that is just bizarre and strange.
Yeah. Which is exactly what the Freddy versus Jason movie was doing too.
This is more fun.
It is more fun.
At least for the first half of the film, it's more fun.
Well, this one feels more dangerous.
It definitely has a dark edge to it, but also is funny and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
which is kind of bizarre. But you got your three jockey asshole college student guys that have that very 80s thing of like they do whatever they want to whomever they want, and there's no sort of repercussions for it.
Yeah.
They basically like hot chicks, and they want to have sex with hot chicks, whether these hot chicks want to have sex with them or not.
Yes, surprise. They're really multi-layered.
Shocking when we're introduced to the main guy of the three of them. Lovejoy was his name. He rolls up to the other two dudes and is like, "Yep, crop of new freshman titties." That's an exact quote.
Yeah, sadly it is.
Crop of new freshman titties.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like start hitting on the girls, and then your boy Sam comes in and saves them. But then these guys decide that they're going to. So Duffy is the head of the newspaper, and Sam works at the newspaper, but Sam is not willing to go to places that he shouldn't to get the news story. So Duffy busts his balls. Oh, you're never going to make it as a reporter. You're not willing to take any chances. But Duffy is willing to take chances, and he knows that something weird is going on in the lab. So he breaks into the lab, antagonizes this poor baboon that's already having a bad day.
I mean, yeah, come on, dude. Little guy's stuck in a cage, and he's not really a little guy. Baboons are decently sized.
It's a big dude, big baboon.
Yeah, and fangs.
Or as Chris would say, baboobs.
Baboobs. I typed it wrong.
Baboobs. Oh, baboobs.
Yeah. Yep.
So
this new crop of freshman baboobs coming in.
Baboobs coming at you. So this poor baboon who's already had like a bunch of stuff done to it, and we see a scene earlier where they're doing the tests on the baboon, and the heart's opened up and the head's opened up, but then it's in the cage and it's fine. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So he goes in and he starts taking pictures, and he takes a picture with the flash, and the baboon goes nuts.
Obviously.
So what do? You take 6 or 7 more photos with the flash to make it angrier.
Yeah, because fuck it, he can't get out.
But
wait, no.
This thing's like, I think there's a point where it's just like, fuck this, and it reaches out and just opens the cage with its own hand, and it's just like, I'm gonna fucking bite your ass.
Yeah, they're not dumb animals.
No. So this thing bites him and then escapes.
Yeah.
It gets hit by a car, it gets hit by a police car, which, okay. So I thought we were going to get rage-filled baboons through most of this movie, but the one baboon that we have is killed almost immediately.
I was a little upset that the whole premise of the movie was over.
Now, but either way, your boy Duffy gets bit by this thing, and we know that he's infected. Now, the rage virus in this picks and chooses its battles with how long it wants to take to overtake certain characters.
That's true.
Duffy gets a couple days, but then he hooks up with the roommate, Debbie, and then he bites Debbie when they're necking. Gives her a big old bite mark, and then she slowly starts to turn. And in this scene that can only be explained in general sense of the 3 asshole frat boys decided that since they were spurned by Debbie earlier in the film, they were going to come and get her. So they kidnap her and are going to have sex with her, ape her, if you will. That works 2 ways. Regardless of the fact that looking at her, she is obviously very, very, very sick.
Oh, yeah. My first guess would have been leprosy and malaria. That's
all
what
of
she
the
had
above.
going on. Like she looked so bad. I half expected them to look at her and go, "Oh shit, do you need an aspirin or something?"
Maybe
and
we should take you to the hospital.
Be nice. Yeah.
No, instead they were like, all 3 of us are going to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Then they weren't fazed by it at all. And she was gross looking.
You know why? You know why this is weird to us? We don't think like that.
No.
So, thankfully, that is a weird thing for people to do, to not care that another person is about to keel over or give you super syphilis or whatever. Like, you don't have sex with people that look like the disease you're worried about getting. That's that simple, right?
Yeah. So, needless to say, this virus starts to spread because she then attacks them, and apparently the virus also gives you like strength and stuff. So she attacks them and turns
right.
Yeah, and then turns the three of them, gives the three of them the virus, and we're kind of off and running.
Yeah.
The evil doctor is also still trying to help, but at the same time, he's working for himself and trying to cure things, but also making it worse in the process. There's a part where they get Debbie and they bring her to the doctor, and he's like, "I'm sorry, like, you know, we can't save you, so I'm going to inject you with this, and it's going to kill you." But then he injects her with it, and it doesn't kill her. So
He's a good doctor.
nah, I'm going to say he's not good at his job.
Oh, at his job. No, he's bad. I don't know. I'm gonna pretend I was thinking of something else there. I don't know. I was just going for the joke.
Yeah, this film.
No, the guy's a piece of crazy. He's as bad as the guy the eyes without a face and the blood, the stealing the blood from people. Like he's that bad. He's up there.
Yeah,
we've had a string of bad doctor movies.
I'll tell you, man. This movie, for the first half of it, it's great fun. It is great fun. And I'm like, why has this got such low ratings? And then I realized I'm like, there's a lull that hits in it, and it really grinds it to a halt.
It's really nice that you call 2/3 of the movie a lull.
Well, it wasn't quite 2/3. That stuff picks up at the end again, and you know, finishes the way it is. But I mean, you know me, I have a soft spot for Italian horror, and I have a really soft spot for Italian horror trying to be American horror, which is what this is trying to do. So
I didn't know this was Italian. I wasn't paying that close attention to it, honestly, for like where it came from and all that. I was just trying to remember what happened. But now that once you said Italian at the beginning, I was like, oh yeah. Okay, I see that now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's grade it.
I'm good with this. Yeah.
All right, Chris, do you recommend what is your grade for Primal Rage?
I will only recommend this if you are into makeup, because the makeup effects on the sick people, I thought, was above this movie's pay grade. The main girl there with the dark hair, whose name I'm not going to remember on purpose, she looked great. She looked sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't always come off in movies, and she added her own, you know, acting skills to it, and she was, to me, believably infected. I thought she did a really good job there. So yeah, I'll recommend it if you want to see some sort of close to real life looking effects, then made fantastic, I guess, on top of it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this isn't a movie you get anything from. You don't learn anything. Nothing's interesting. If you like seeing baboons' butts, you got like 2 scenes in this. Baboon butt kind of bothers me a lot, so I was not a fan. So I don't know who this whole movie is made for. Probably for laundering. So no,
Laundering purposes.
I'm not going to recommend this, and I'm gonna give it a C-.
Okay, I think that's fair.
A more coherent story than the other one, but not good at all.
I think that's fair.
Not at all.
Yeah. I'm giving it the recommend to the Italian fans. If you're a fan of the Italian films from, you know, the 70s and the 80s, then yeah. Like I said, the first 45 minutes of it is good fun. It's got a little bit of a dark edge to it. The makeup effects are, as you said, quite good, I think. Unfortunately, it slows itself up before it kind of comes to its end. And I thought the ending was good when the three guys go on the rage at the Halloween party.
Yeah, Karate Kid style.
Yeah, and they're wearing these like demon skeleton reaper costumes that are actually probably the scariest thing in the whole movie.
I actually turned to my wife and said, the hoods and masks on these guys somehow, through whatever mistake was made, really fit them size-wise. They were scaled really good to their heads. Sometimes you can put on a mask and it's too small, or it's like gigantic or whatever. A lot of times hoods on hooded figures in movies, when they don't know, like they're pointy or they're really small. No, this material had some weight to it. It had some stuff going on, and yeah, that was a good choice.
Yeah,
and it had light up red eyes, which adds a lot, really, doesn't it?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought that part was good. There's a lot of good things in this for, done on a cheap budget.
Too, yeah.
But yeah, some not good things. That ponytail drove me nuts the whole time. I was like, dude, just fucking get a haircut or wear a wig with long hair. Like, anyway.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
As far as a grade, then, it's not upper echelon of the Italian trash, but it's not terrible. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. Front half's great. The ending I thought was pretty good because you get kind of like, it gets pretty violent, pretty crazy at the end. So I will give it a straight C, and I'll give it the recommend. If you're an Italian horror fan, check it out because it doesn't really. I haven't really seen it talked about a whole lot. So
Yeah.
so there you go. All right, next up, Joe's starting a new series. I gave him a couple of options. Let's see what he chose.
Well, hello, Bill. Hello, Chris. And hello, OTC Nation. It's your boy Joe here, and this week Bill took me to a place that 13 years ago seemed unrealistic. Because he made me watch The Purge.
I forgot.
It says a lot that my first thought is that this movie that seemed dystopian a little over a decade ago actually kind of feels safer than our current world. Oh, if you only knew the stuff that I've written in the last half hour and deleted, not because I was afraid to say it, it was just too heavy and dark when I'm trying to keep things mostly light. I didn't succeed. There's probably not a single laughable moment in this entire review because it's just too relevant.
Fair enough.
Dystopian might be a bit too big of a word to describe the world that The Purge is set in when we've seen like Judge Dredd, the good one with Carl What's-His-Face, Mad Max, Elysium, and Children of Men. But I'm assuming we've all seen this. Can't you see them enacting something like this or very similar just to keep a failing classist system going? Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. To me, that's what makes good, like kind of near future dystopian sci-fi click with people. Like this movie's set in 2022. This movie was set 3 fucking years ago. Finding just the right balance between fiction and fuck me, I can see them doing this reality. You just have to hope that the bland, compassionless, imaginationless fucks like the fucks currently destroying civilization don't watch one of these films and get an idea. The Purge in particular touches on a particularly relevant aspect of both classism and American culture in that it immediately becomes, how can our company profit from this? It relates to Ethan Hawke, the main character, selling home security systems.
Yeah.
Okay, I promise I'm going to try to make a joke or two at some point, but I liked this movie better when it wasn't so poignant. I think I first watched it when it first came out on video. Also, I've had a lot of Ethan Hawke lately doing these reviews between this and Sinister, and God, I think there was at least one other, and I'm kind of realizing that Homeboy only has one gear as an actor. Like the awkward kid that he had with Uma Thurman, the one that was in Stranger Things, like has only been a notable actor for a few years now, and she's already twice the actor he is. We start on an upper middle class neighborhood as Ethan Hawke is heading home, and it's so like subtly gross how comfortable all these people are with what's about to happen. It's like, hey, Bob, mowing the lawn before a whole lot of people suffer? Great. Make sure you water it afterwards. Oh, Mary, here's some neighborhood gossip as I give you some Purge cookies that I made. It's a family recipe. Now I'll just encase my house in 6-inch thick steel plates and watch some Big Bang Theory reruns while my neighbor goes and kills his competition at work with a machete. No big deal. We're all just totally okay with this. If this particular purge went well for Ethan Hawke's family, we probably wouldn't be watching it. So pretty quickly we get the teen daughter's boyfriend who snuck into the house before the gates came down, and he's determined to convince Ethan that it's okay for him to bone his eldest, but really just wants to kill him. But also, and more relevant, his softer youngest son sees the thing that people who live in gated communities fear more than anything. A black man who needs help. Shit gets a little tense, but then a group of 20-somethings show up, and these kids look like the kind of fucks who don't understand why everyone is so upset that they shared Nazi ideals in their congressional aid work chat. The kind of milquetoast Nepo babies who wear navy blue because wearing black is for the pores. And they might have to recognize something black.
That's a thing.
I do. I dig the central conceit here, kind of the whole movie about trust in society. Like the Classersons here don't trust the shabbily dressed guy begging for help, but the psychopaths outside are upstanding citizens who just need to release some steam, and tomorrow we're all going to go back to being friends.
Sounds about right.
Other than some interestingly organized social commentary, the rest of this is just kind of typical Blumhouse fare. And by that, I mean it's fine. It's just forgettable. It's a good idea that was made just okay by not doing anything unique. It's safe horror for people who don't actually want to be scared.
Okay.
I read a few reviews here that dunked on how the dialogue written for the main, let's call them what they are, Republicans, breaking into the, it's not Sanderson, something like that, Ethan Hawke's home, how nobody actually talks like that. But if you've ever seen one of those like faux intellectual Ben Shapiro nerds try to defend their evil bullshit online, the more you tell them they're wrong and the more you hold up a mirror to them, the more like flowery and technical and like collegey their language becomes.
So true.
And that's the language that this character uses. Like the main baddie is a great avatar for this weird modern young conservatism. Like he's a man baby whose whole sense of self-worth comes from believing that he's better than others to the point where they become subhuman to him.
Right.
That's why I'm not mad that other certain conservative podcasters aren't around anymore. Big ol' fuck off, taking a stand in their home, which is honestly one of the grosser things about conservative culture. It's not so much that they're willing to defend their home with deadly force. It's that they can't wait to. There is not a twist, I guess reveal, where the nice neighbors kind of headed up the attack on the Sandin. That's their name, the family, Ethan Hawke's family, the Sandins. The nice neighbors headed up an attack on the Sandin home because they're all pissed off about how much money the Sandins made selling them security systems for their houses, even though they all live in the same ritzy gated community. And if that's not a bigger joke than I could ever have come up with about this movie, I don't know. Here's the thing. The good, what little action there is pretty good. Specifically, one of the young Republican, like tradwife girls is standing on top of a pool table, takes a shotgun blast to the chest, and the bump, oh my God, the bump that this stunt actor took off this pool table, like, first of all, made me like wince, and then almost made me jump up and chant like EC dub, EC dub, EC dub.
Okay.
Bill, you can explain that one to Chris later.
I think he gets it.
Lena Headey is a phenomenal actor.
I love her.
And is almost completely and utterly wasted as a character until just like the last 20 minutes.
100%.
I could say more, but I already went this whole time absolutely unable to crack a joke, and I was looking for opportunities. So I'm just going to let that lay. The Purge was fine, even good at moments here and there. Not completely good, but it was fine. At the end of the day, it's just there. I probably won't ever watch it a third time, nor will I ever own it on physical media. So I don't know, give it a B-. I was going to give it a C+ when I started this movie with a throbbing headache, but that went away, so I'm being nice. I'll be back next week with 2014's Purge Anarchy, which I haven't seen. I've only ever seen the first one, so I'm actually kind of interested because I just watched the trailer. It looks a hell of a lot better than this. Until then, be good, everyone.
If I remember, the first Purge film was actually probably the weakest of them. But I could be wrong.
I mean, well, the first one was just a small thing. It was in one house. It was, not a bottle episode, but almost.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And then they expanded it out. So yeah, I think it would get better.
The
as
one
it
that I
got
didn't like was the
bigger.
one where like they were chasing the president or they were chasing the vice president or something
Yeah.
on the night of the purge. I didn't like that one. That
Yeah.
seemed ridiculous.
would've-
Speaking of
I would've
ridiculous,
just left the whole one thing real quick. I don't know if this is laziness or if this is something else, but the family is called the Sandins. If you add a T to that on your script, you would have a stand-in until you put your name, until you pick your real characters' names. So are they a stand-in for the audience in that situation? That's what I think they're going for. It's a little Blomkamp of them to be that obvious,
All right.
but whatever. That's all I was thinking that.
all right, here we go.
Why don't you start me off with a little intro today?
Here is Holy Shit with Reverend Scott.
Wow, inspired and creative. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man.
What?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
With Reverend Scott.
It's getting late. We gotta go. Bye.
Hey there, Bill and Chris. This is Reverend Scott.
I want to fucking choke him, but he's
I'm not a-
probably an
not a
okay
fan.
dude.
Anyway, welcome back to...
Holy shit.
And this week, to cap off the spooky season that at the time of me making this segment has yet to end, I'm going to review an independently written and funded and created horror movie. Think this sounds like a good idea?
Oh, this sounds like it's gonna be awesome, but there's no way it's gonna go well.
You'll just have to wait and see, but first I wanted to quickly address something else.
Did you watch The Perfect Neighbor?
I indeed did watch The Perfect Neighbor. And first of all, what a terrible title. She was very much not a perfect neighbor at all.
Interesting.
I have to say, at least it was nice to see some police that actually listened to people and assessed the situation correctly. They even worked with the kids to try and help the situation some to see how they could act differently. Unfortunately, things go from mildly annoying and frustrating to very dark. Watching those two sons react in real time was pretty soul-crushing. I'm glad justice was ultimately served, but wow, did it take too long to get to that point. Now, I will say this documentary felt a little bit stretched, maybe a little bit longer than it needed to be, but at least it wasn't some 10-part series on Netflix. So I guess I recommend it, and I give it a straight B.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to what I actually came to talk about today, a movie reviewer YouTuber I've been watching for many years called Chris Stuckman. Well, he wrote and directed his own horror movie called Shelby Oaks. And it was apparently the most funded horror movie ever on Kickstarter after it collected $650,000. So that means it has to be good, right?
Nope.
Yeah, no, fuck you. It doesn't matter.
Shelby Oaks starts as a mockumentary-style film, mostly news clips and interviews with Mia Brennan Walker about her missing sister, Riley Brennan. Riley was one of 4 people in a very popular YouTube channel called Paranormal Paranoids. And if you're worried you might forget the name Paranormal Paranoids, fear not, because every single news reporter mentions that name every single time they talk, over and over and over again.
Which sounds really fucking stupid to me.
Dumb.
As the story goes, Riley and crew were off investigating some old prison in the abandoned town of Shelby Oaks when they suddenly went missing. The rumor at first was that this was all a publicity stunt to revitalize the YouTube channel. The video camera was found in a cabin near the town, and there was a single tape showing Riley talking about how terrified she was. And then she leaves the room and has been gone ever since. Later, 3 of the 4 members of the channel were found dead in the cabin. Their heads were smashed and a double X symbol on the wall and the word Tarion. Tarion? I don't know. But the point was that Riley was nowhere to be found. Well, it's been 12 years since that, and there's been no leads. Just Mia struggling in her marriage, and she can't have a baby, and she has never lost the hope of finding her sister. She tells the documentary crew that her sister used to have night terrors, and she used to see this dark figure in the window on the 2nd story of the house. I'm sure that's not related to anything, though.
Well, so you're better off not thinking about it.
Now the movie makes an odd shift from documentary style and kind of found footage look to traditional movie film look as the film crew leaves. And a short time later, there's a knock at the door. Who could it be?
I don't know.
Well, it's a middle-aged balding man. He tells Mia, "She finally let me go." And then he puts a revolver to his head and blows his brains out right in front of her, splattering blood all over the side of her face. It's pretty shocking to see, probably even more so for Mia, who had to watch it in slow motion. The police eventually show up and she still has blood on the side of her face. And then everybody leaves and she goes inside to talk to her husband and she still has blood on the side of her face. But anyway, there's something that she doesn't tell the police. As she stood there in shock earlier, she noticed the man is holding a mini videotape with Shelby Oaks written on the spine. She took it from his hand before the police arrived, and she watched it, with blood still on the side of her face.
Right.
Okay. That's a decision. That's an artistic decision that you made.
You see, the paranormal paranoids always had 2 video cameras, but only one tape was recovered from their last known location. This is the missing second tape. On it, we see footage of the old prison where Riley feels cold out of nowhere and you can start to see her breath appearing. Then we see footage from the cabin where the old man who blew his brains out earlier shows up and brutally murders everyone before kidnapping and leaving with Riley.
So what the fuck, dude?
Mia decides that since the man in the video is now dead, she's not going to bother showing this to the police. They'll just consider the matter closed, as if they were really still doing much after 12 years. Mia starts her own little investigation. She hops into the mystery machine and goes off to the library, finding out about this man and a prison that he went to for 5 years near Shelby Oaks. So Mia interviews the old prison warden, who happens to be the great Keith David, who I have a lot in common with.
And his voice. Oh, he's got a great voice.
So
Just the speaking voice is great.
This all leads Mia to the town of Shelby Oaks to try and unravel a mystery involving a supernatural cult and a very creepy, tall, dark, horned creature in the shadows. I don't want to say more in case you ever watch this, but this definitely more than dips its toes into the supernatural territory and feels like it's heavily inspired by several other works like Silent Hill, when you see her just bravely walking into old abandoned prisons at night by herself with just a flashlight. And then she'll go to this other area that's even creepier than that, still by herself, and it's like she just has no regard for her own safety whatsoever. And there's other parts that remind me of like interiors from Resident Evil, and there's lots of Hereditary in this, and The Hills Have Eyes, and a few others that I'm not thinking of right now. I'm sure some will complain about that fact, but I didn't actually mind it much. It's difficult to do horror that isn't derivative in some way. Maybe it could have been a little less derivative, but
it is what it is.
Derek Mears is one of the 3 people that played the Dark Demon, and he's quite an imposing figure. And unlike Jason or Michael Myers, demons are a bit scarier to me because you can't
Just run a fucking tank over them.
So remember when I told you they raised $650,000 for this? Well, apparently Neon doubled that budget to film some reshoots so they could add in more violence and gore. I can appreciate that. Camille Sullivan plays Mia, and she does an excellent job. The writing in this is a bit cliche at times, and sometimes the B-roll during like the investigation Mia does is a little funny. She's shown in the library writing things on a notepad, but she'll write things that are kind of pointless, like the name, age, and height of the man that killed himself, even though she has like a whole dossier on him on the table to look at. And every time she writes something down, it's super obvious info, and she always uses a new page every time, even though she only writes like 2 words. I don't know, maybe they figured the audience needed help following along. I mean, you know most theater crowds.
It's got stupid people in it.
Yep.
I already mentioned the blood on the side of her face thing. I have expected it to be there the entire movie, but you know, those are minor gripes. I checked out some other reviews and they all seem to have more than minor gripes. They didn't like the change in film style from documentary to traditional. I agree it was a little jarring at first, but it might have made things difficult to justify how it was being filmed later on in the movie. You know, that kind of found footage trope where you gotta make sure there's a reason that they're filming, and sometimes it's really odd that they still are or still could. But I just kind of got over that switch in film quickly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what we're doing here. Like, yeah, I'm on board.
The story pulls a lot of pieces from other works, and again, that bothered a lot of reviewers. But I don't really care about that much either.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, literally. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
The final act of the movie is where a lot of people got lost or thought the movie lost its way. Personally, I liked where things went in the end. I thought it wrapped things up well. And you have to take a few mental leaps, but it's no harder to understand than, say, Hereditary was. There's some pretty good jump scares, and anytime the demon is near the window cracks a little bit, and that got me every time. It's currently only at a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I feel like it deserves a little bit higher score than that, and I blame you, Bill.
And man, I was selling it short.
So at the end of the day, I recommend Shelby Oaks. If you liked any of those other movies that I named, you'll get something out of this, and I give it a straight B. But enough about what I've been watching. How did your reviews go last week? Well, over the years, you've had some pretty memorable reviews like Nail Gun Massacre, Mardi Gras Massacre, or Boarding House.
I was so invested in this movie when I was watching it.
I'm sorry if I spit on you. That was not what I expected you to say.
And then I said to myself, I go, oh, that girl spent all this time making those pies and just hitting each other in the face with them.
I have to admit, I thought, what a waste.
And dare I say, that review of Sinners ranks up there with the greats for me.
It definitely was some magic in that room.
Even despite the horrible, not out of context in any way whatsoever, racism.
And it was awful. There were too many black people.
Oh, Jesus.
No, sorry. That is totally without...
You can go back and listen to my masterful non-racist review on episode 891. And I give your review a full A.
Ooh. Peckerwood.
And as far as 28 years later...
I saw that, unfortunately.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. At the movie, mostly. Yeah. I don't know exactly what I wanted from that film, but that wasn't it. You did a solid B+ review, but there was no saving that movie.
Where is the fucking boat?
I don't know, it's 28 years later.
You can go back and hear the disappointment in my voice on episode 901. Okay, that's it for me this week. Hope you had a great, spooky, candy-filled Halloween.
I got mine, fuck you.
So until the next YouTuber Demon Mystery, peace and love, guys. Holy shit with Reverend Scott. It'll get you all revved up.
Oh, shit. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is hot as fucking hell. I mean, this is great.
Outside the cinema with Bill and Chris.
They give you real dickheads that you want to see die.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Thank you guys for joining us again this week. Thank you to Gavin for writing in and sharing his stories of werewolves versus strippers. Thank you to Joe for sitting through the future of our country. And thank you to Scott for just being Scott.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week. As always, you can follow Chris and I on Instagram at Cthulhu, at OTC Bill. Go to spectopiaarts.com to grab some really adorable little ghosts and cryptids and all those fun things on shirts, hoodies, phone cases. They offer it all.
Thank you. Yeah.
And watch. Yeah, obviously it's fun. And watch Don't Forget to Leave on Hoopla. I verified it is available in Canada and it is available in the UK.
Oh, nice.
So if you have a public library, you can sign up and get Hoopla for free. Please leave us a review. If you've watched Don't Forget to Leave, leave us a review or at least a rating on Hoopla. And then if you would be so kind, go over to IMDb and leave us a review there. Every little bit helps.
Yes, I'll do that today.
Oh, thanks, Chris. All right, I guess we're done. Bill's got to pee. I'm sure Chris has got to pee. Everyone's got to pee. We'll be back. Pee-less next week. Bye.
Bye.
This is the end of your rotten life, you motherfucking dope.